Greetings and good evening, everybody. We have, a story, believe it or not. I have to tell you, I am a little off of my normal schedule. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, medical emergency, end of last year made it so that I take medications and all kinds of other things, plus, minor brain injury, just that kind of stuff. But what's interesting is I've now recovered all of everything I didn't have before, including the ability to stay awake after 7 p.m. So, without all that being said, I want to say a quick shout out and thank you to the lovely Ruby Hoove, making sure one more of you is now a member of the channel. And tonight we got to talk about the incredible Pansy, the giant crybaby, the biggest baby in all of late night. And that's despite the fact that he's getting canceled after his pal Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel. That's why we're here. That's why we've called this meeting tonight of all of the people out there that are here with us live and will be joining us later. We've got several folks with us this evening, including O2RR. By the way, I can't read any of this because it's all very small to me. So, yeah, thanks for chatting with us. Just understand, it's not on purpose I can't read. It's the fact that, one of the things that got taken out by the medical issue was my ability to see. And you know what? I know you weren't expecting me tonight, my friend O2RR, but here I are on a Tuesday night before Lauren and Apollo, one of my favorite shows. It's how I go to sleep on Tuesday nights. So if it weren't for those guys, I'd be having trouble. And Tom's out there playing mod, which I appreciate. I don't know what channels I'm on. I think I set it up for most places, including X, so you can follow me over there if you so elect. And look, I have to say that I am disappointed in what late night TV has become. If you've seen any of the recent videos that I've done on it, I'm sure you have gathered that. Now, tonight I made some invitations quite broadly to everybody that's in a background chat that hangs out with people like Pro and Jonas and stuff like that. So I have no idea who could show up, if they'll show up, or if anybody shows up at this point. But I am grateful to be here with all of you. For those of you that are showing up right now, including Caleb, thank you for being here. And we've got an interesting night. Kenny's out there. What's up, Kenny? It's been a minute. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Culturinos. Indeed. The Barry the Music Man's out there. Great to see you, my friend. It's I'm in a weird world right now. I'm a great admirer of everybody that I work with, and right now I'm in awe of WDW Pro. If you watch nothing else tonight, other than me, obviously, don't go anywhere. But and obviously Lauren and Apollo, you really need to watch the video that Pro dropped about what was going on, because things were certainly going on today. We talked about them. A story broke in the midst of the beginning of the show that we did live today on WDW Pro. The live show features a lot of shows that get a lot of elements that get turned into clips. And one of those most important things was something that was breaking news, something that came out of nowhere. It was Barry Weiss addressing, everybody that works for her in a town hall format. Now, oftentimes, those are scripted events. Remarks are written down in advance, much like a presidential address. And addresses and PR elements often leak ahead of time to various PR outlets and news outlets so that they can be covered properly with the right context and information. We got an early advanced copy from Brian Stelter, and he released the contents of largely what she was going to say. Obviously, the intonation was definitely Barry's when she delivered it live, but we already kind of had a breakdown of what was going to happen. And you know what? I'm going to turn off the heater that's next to me, so hang on just a moment. There we go. So I appreciated every single letter that she wrote down in advance, and she largely stuck to the script when she delivered it in the town hall, reportedly. And those people are now under notice, whether or not they know it or not, that their jobs are in jeopardy if they don't shape up. Because otherwise, they're going to ship out. She doesn't care. She's reached the I don't care button. And if she punches it, there's a lot of people going out the door because the people she's bringing in are legitimate news people. They go out of their way to get information, to get stories, to analyze data accurately, and to double check to make sure they have the right story. That doesn't happen in the business anymore. It happens in the weird places like independent journalism or journalism, which I believe I practice journalism because I go places and I do things. But journalism is oftentimes just akin to reporting on a PR newswire. And that's what's passed for journalism for the better part of the last 25 years. If the government tells you they're going to do this, well, that's what we're going to report. If a business tells you we're going to do this, that's what they're going to report. They're not necessarily reporting the news, they're reporting what they've been told. Hearsay. Nothing they've researched for themselves or have seen data or have observed actually occurring in front of them. Journalism used to be about going out and getting information and treating certain talk shows like they're journalism. That's a real problem, which is what's going on and has been going on for the better part of 2 decades. Because once the people who push so hard for the fairness doctrine to be put in place figured out that it was not going to work with them, it was going to work against them, they did everything they could to bury it and hide it, obfuscate it, and ignore it. I mean, let's just be fair. So, anyway, that's how we're starting the night, is with broad statements made by yours truly, Culture Casino. I don't hide. I put myself and my voice out in front of the general public. This is what I look like. This is what I sound like. When you meet me in public, this is me. There's no voice changer. There's definitely nothing that makes this prettier because, I mean, that something would have to work really hard to make that happen. And let's just be fair. I want you to hear what I say from me. Not a lot of people want to do that these days. So, I'm a big believer in this country, the Constitution of the United States, the Bill of Amendments, and every other amendment that came after that. And it's hard for me to say that sometimes because, ladies, I don't really appreciate your voting. But, you take that with a grain of salt. I mean, I don't believe we would have ended up with Biden without a lot of people who were not quite fully informed or allowed themselves to be overcome by they're telling us they didn't cheat. Let's just believe them. Anyway, it is what it is. So Barry says he got the notification. If you got the notification, welcome and thank you for being here. I did try to set it a half an hour in advance. And then I also sent a follow-up bunch of social media messages. So if you're not following me on X, please do so. Follow me also on Minds. I like Minds. It's kind of fun. And then Getter, Gettr. Now, I used to be on a lot of other things like Parler and on Trump's thing and all that stuff, Truth Social. But apparently that doesn't get kind of the reach that I'm looking for. In fact, nothing gets the reach I'm looking for. I'm looking for you. If you're watching this now, I'm looking for you. Thank you for being here. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already, and share the stream, share the dream. In fact, if you do that every time you see something I make or a stream that I make, you're doing me a huge favor. Same with all the other creators out there. So let's keep going. We got a lot to get to. I want to say a quick shout out and thank you to, one of the most amazing people here and generous people amongst y'all. It's our friend Ruby Hoo for another 5 Culture Casino cash to say hi, Culture, and Culturians will be listening. Have a great one. Indeed, I imagine you and Hoove are digging out from underneath the massive snowstorm that you're dealing with. Most of y'all, if you live in the northern part of the country, you're cold. At the very least, you might have a ton of snow over your head. You could probably go outside and, I don't know, resupply the Mississippi River with all the snow that needs to melt off of your land. And that's just the way it is sometimes here in the United States, North America most especially. So, welcome to hanging out with me, and I hope you're comfy and warm. How about that? How about that indeed? Adam is out there. Good to see you. We've got, of course, Commander Ed Straker Shadow. We got our friend Popcorn Power. Good to see you, my friend. Great to see you, actually. Tom, he was shorter than I thought when I hung out with you. Well, I mean, look, I'm not going to lie. I'm 5'9". And now that I've been through the aging process and, well, medical treatment, all kinds of things, I'm going to blame as much as I can on, like, just being battered down in this world. And I'm old. I've shrunk about an inch, so maybe I'm only 5'8". But regardless, if you see me in comics side by side, we're both 5'8". I don't care what anybody says. And we both started out at 5'9". So that's just the way the world works. But there is no snow in Oregon, says my good friend Sean. It's good to see you, buddy. And you know what? I love Oregon. They still have family land and family in Oregon. So there's that. Barry's like, work acted like I could drive into work tonight. Oh, no. Some of y'all have actual, like, snowfall. Oh, and for those of you out there, Pam is reminding you, all the way from the UK, thank you, Pam, it's good to see you, dear, that if you see a hype button, click it now. Make me go big. Make me grow big. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Can't really say that online. Penny is out there. Penny. Saying hi to our good friend Giratina. Look at all these great people out here in the chat. But Caleb and everybody, I do appreciate it, Bruce. According to Bruce, I'm a giant among men. Let's not get out. Let's not get out of our minds, okay? Let's reality's okay. I'm okay with it. I hope you are too. But since nobody else was able to join me this evening, and I put out a wide broadcast of availability, I want to cover this subject, and then we'll go from there. Okay? Okay. Ready? Okay. Yeah, anyway, wait, I'm supposed to hit this button to get... There we go. All right, so tonight, we got to talk about the pansification. I think I said it right. Pansification of late night. I think that's a word. Either that or I invented a word. I don't know. But the pansification of late night. Let's start with the biggest of them all, Jimmy Kimmel. Because, look, our friends over at That Park Place, my pal, your pal, and editor-in-chief Marvin Montanaro, who, he's kind of a big deal, in case you didn't know. I'm waiting for a guest to decide if they want to turn their camera on or not. He wrote an article today that I thought was quite brilliant, and it kind of identifies what's going on. Let's start here with this article and with this guest. Holy cow, I see a black screen.
Do you want me like this, or how do you want me?
You look fine. Great. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Steve.
Hi.
He is actually the master of, Wilton? Can I say that? Is that okay?
It's kind of weird to say it that way.
You like hold dominion over him. Is that fair?
I manipulate him as he manipulates others.
He does manipulate people. That's well stated. I like that. So you're the manipulator of a manipulator. Let's just say it that way. Let's just be straightforward about it.
It's a gift.
It's a gift. Yeah, it's a gift. And you know what? I need Wilton. By the way, in case you weren't watching Pro today, folks, in case you weren't watching, Pro wants me and Wilton, your manipulated friend,
which I've heard,
to do a gardening experiment. So I think that'll be fun. I'm not sure Wilton's going to be able to achieve planting anything, but we'll give it a go. How's that sound? Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
fair enough.
yeah.
We'll work it out. We'll work it out behind the scenes. Behind the scenes. So anyway, this is gonna be weird. But look, okay, so Marvin wrote this article today. I thought we should talk about it because would you agree with me that the pansification of late night happened?
Did it happen? Yes. Did it happen recently? No.
Yeah, it's been going on for a little bit, right?
Just yeah. I mean, we're coming up on a solid decade.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And here's the weird thing. Somebody like, let's say, the guy that's about to lose his job, Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, that's like the feature element of tomorrow's show.
Which he's only got like 4 months left, right?
It's a short window. We're going to talk about that on tomorrow's show, but he only recently succumbed to stupidity because he used to be a guy who very well did a good job satirizing the right, but he wasn't destructive or overtly mean or inaccurate about what he was doing.
He made fun of us in a way that he actually had many convinced that he actually kind of was on the right.
Right.
Make fun of us.
Yeah.
Because when he made fun of people, he was at least respectful and showed almost a level of honor.
Yeah.
Right. Because he didn't degrade them. He just made fun of them, which there is a giant difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's much in the same way that I make fun of some of the stuff that Benny does, and I love Benny. You know, like I've met some of the people that I make fun of. You know, it's, the circles are small, but I'll just say that I look at other people's work, and I'm gonna have a yuck at their stuff. I mean, you make me laugh all the time, but that's a different kind of laughing. But like, I'm gonna laugh at people like in their conclusions, or maybe that's not fun or fair, but I do that. But when it comes to somebody like, and this is more important, Jimmy Kimmel, this dude's always in tears. I mean, can I get a soy latte on this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, I can't speak to the sincerity of anything that he believes or says. I cannot speak to the validity of any content that he's put out, primarily because I haven't watched Kimmel an actual episode for almost a decade. I just can't do it.
It's hard. Yeah.
Fallon, on the other hand, I got to at least 2018 watching a bunch of his stuff.
You realize he's genuinely trying to entertain everybody. Like, that's like, he wants everybody to like him. Like, seriously, that's his whole MO. If you think about it, like, let's do karaoke. Let's go for a goofy car ride. Let's feed into whatever the guest would like to do and find fun.
Yeah,
that is a late night host. Well, we don't have those anymore, but we do have another couple of super chats I want to get to. One of them is in honor of you, my friend Steve. Our friend O2RR, once again for 5, Culture Casino Cash says, thank you for the streaming tonight. Have you heard of Stardew Valley? Yeah, of course I have. My good friend Lorena plays it all the time. Have you heard of Stardew Valley?
I have. I've never played it. It's definitely not the kind of game that I think I would play, because I've seen other people play it, and I'm like,
but here's why, right? The motivation for me to look at this would be because it's a farming simulation game.
Yeah,
everybody knows I like that.
Yeah,
I'm moving this city boy, this privileged city boy who comes from humble beginnings, I'll say, and has worked on a cattle ranch. Grew up primarily in the city in my high school, college years, so I kind of got spoiled by all the city stuff. But no, I'm returning back to the country on purpose. Me and the boss have decided simple life, grow our own stuff, do our own thing is more important than anything else. So I don't know about you.
Well, so for me, I've lived in never like big city, but I've been in cities. So the cities that I've lived in would be, and I don't mind saying this,
Sure.
is Sarnia, Ontario, which
I know
is
where that. Yeah.
it's basically it's where all the chemical factories are, right above Port Huron, Michigan.
Oh, cool. You're the place that does all the cloud seeding for America. Thanks.
Yeah. And then I've lived in Abbotsford, BC, and so
you make testing products for a pharmaceutical company.
yep.
Okay.
And so, and also the gang activity in Abbotsford is pretty off the roof.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, off the roof, like the hand grenades that are thrown into your neighborhood oftentimes.
They can't happen. Shootings just down the road from my apartment.
Not as much as in Scandinavia, but it's raining grenades. Hallelujah.
It's true.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so I am a bit of a West Coaster because I also grew up on Vancouver Island. Ooh. And so I was on the southern tip there with Souk, Colwood, Langford, that area. For any of our islanders around here.
Souk, you-ba-doop, you-ba-doop.
Yep. And so, and I've lived in several small towns since. And
so
work in a city now and live in a small town. So
right. Yeah. I was born in a small town. Had myself a ball in a small town. Anyway, let's go back to this because you are beloved. You are beloved.
By my wife.
Look at this.
Oh,
no. Yeah, wild man Yappenson. Fitty.
Wilton.
Fitty. You know what? You did a thing for me that I have to honor right now because not only is this Fitty, but you did a thing. You want to see a thing?
I will love to see a thing.
I'm going to play a thing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's really all I got. Thanks for your being kind and supporting the channel. Yeah.
So there you go. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're doing the Elvis bit now. All right. So anyway, thank you very much, and thank you to Steve. Steve and I became friends almost immediately because he does what I want to do for my whole life. I wanted to be the puppet master.
And Culture does what I wish I could do, which is grow a beard. I can only grow here and here. I can't grow anything here. I can get like nasty here, like that high school kid right here, but I can't grow anything right here. No, zero things grow right here. I can't pull off a Hitler stash.
You can't say that on TV.
Sorry. We're not on TV.
Oh, we can't say that on Nickelodeon.
Maybe.
By the way, did you know that the island, the island of Little Saint something or another, where that the guy, the Epstein dude, Epstein dude,
okay, yeah,
Little Saint James is what it was called. If you take a look at that island and then you look at the Nickelodeon logo, the little splat,
is it?
Why do they look the same? I'm just curious, like if you can give me an answer to that, or to the fact that if you look up the address for SpongeBob, like you look that up in like a Google Maps or something, it kind of it like aims like at a particular island. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. So anyway,
sometimes I will say there are coincidences in life.
That's a multi-coinky dink.
But when it's a pattern, yeah. What are we drinking tonight? Is that water?
Oh yeah, it's red water mixed with grape juice
that's been sitting for a while,
been hanging around for a bit. But mostly water. I have 2 water bottles next to me.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Now, look, I mean, I was told I could do limited amounts of this, but I had to do an awful lot of this. So, yeah, but it's fine.
I'm not allowed to drink alcohol.
I stopped. I was completely done. Like right after the medical thing, I was like, no, you're done. I'm like, oh. And
but you know what, though? Overall, it's better for your health. There's not
no lies told.
There's not much that it adds in terms of actual value that just
I don't know.
Vitamin supplement and going for a run can't do in today's
But I'm pretty funny.
You are,
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
and beautiful.
Let, Thank you. Oh, let's look at this. This is from our good friend Chef Eddie for another little super chat, super duper chat. For 2 Culture Casino Cash says, Steve, the talent is here. I can't argue with that.
I appreciate it.
I can't.
I feel loved.
I can't argue. And
People that I thought were haters of me in the chat are actually saying nice things. So I don't know if they're just trolling me or
no, they're not. No. My audience genuinely loves you. Like, I am a puppet guy. All these people know that I am a puppet guy. Zombie Box sent a super sticker. Like, it's like a fist bump pair. I think that's freaking amazing. And then look at this. Ruby Hoove loves you long time. You know, you get to Tennessee, maybe Hoove and I could pop down and say hello. I will get there. I'm counting on you. Although I have plenty of family in your neck of the woods, I can come up for a visit. That's the other cool thing. Like, my entire clan spread across this country because, you know, we showed up when them. Well, we weren't with the Pilgrims. We showed up after they, you know, got more established.
So a good chunk of my family, you know, when Louis and Marie Antoinette had a really bad day.
Yeah, they wanted people to eat cake, and the people didn't appreciate that so much.
So Marie had some family. That family was my family, and they fled to Quebec. So I have French royal lineage. I also have a Welsh. I was going to say Welch's because you're drinking juice. Welsh Duchess. And also, on my father's side, I am actually related to John A. MacDonald. He is my great uncle.
I supposedly am related to, like, some pioneers and stuff. So it's fine.
But I got a lot of royalty. And thus, since my name is Steve, it makes sense. That's why it's crowned one. And also, my middle names are Wayne John. Therefore, I am sad because they're not in the right order.
No, it's fine. I mean, you people who speak French screw that stuff up all the time. I mean, it's always back.
My family doesn't. My grandma speaks French. She can't say TH words.
On
and it's
purpose?
really funny. No, she can't. Like, I grew up on a street called Trethui, and she can't say Tretui.
Look, I would be saying Tatooine all the time. I'd be grateful. Or what's the name of that movie, the Disney movie with the rat that cooks?
Oh,
Ratatouille. Ratatouille. There you go. That's what that would be the other thing I'd do. Speaking of the other thing I do, say thank you to Zombie Box Reviews for sending another 5 Culture Cash. This is like real, like proper money. These are pounds. You know what pounds are?
What you're getting received in the chat.
It's for sure, but it's like twice as much as like a Canadian dollar. Like a pound is like half of a.
But ironically, we pay the exact same dollar figure at Starbucks.
Yeah, and you also have like.
So they're kind of getting ripped off because they pay £6 for their drink. I pay $6 Canadian. We get the exact same thing.
We feel bad for you.
I feel bad for me.
I'm just saying.
If I had it up to me right now, there's a place that I'd be moving to in a heartbeat. So.
All right. Okay. Let's be clear. Zombie Box is trying to be nice tonight. I know this might not feel like it is the truth.
And so you avoided reading the super chat?
I'll read it because. Wait, where'd it go?
You took it away.
Wait, what happened? Oh, here it is.
Buying farm.
Culture told me he was purchasing some old farm equipment. I did that already. I told him he shouldn't be calling black people farm equipment. I would never do that. I come from a family of like sharecroppers, kids. Come on now. We got our land the old-fashioned way. We waited for the old people to die. And then my
grandpa had a greenhouse, and we had rabbits that were my brother's. They were his pets, and my grandpa used the results of the rabbits in his greenhouse and grew gigantic zucchinis and cucumbers.
Oh, hey, look, animal poo is like lovely fertilizer, and
especially mixed with the hay. You get
well,
that in your garden, and
yeah,
you're
you do.
growing things, my friend.
Well, yeah, because it's a nitrogen cycle, nitrogen replenishment.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Not to mention the fact that rabbits are good eating if you do it the right way.
If I could, I'd
Per
raise
per
rabbits.
pound, rabbits are probably the best livestock crop you could have. Like
Yeah, no, yeah, no, absolutely.
if you didn't think
Because
they were
the turnover on
yeah,
rabbits is far faster. They're cheaper. They can actually eat more things than chickens, right? So
yeah,
chickens are number 2, but rabbits are number
yeah,
1.
and they do,
You
and
just have to be willing.
chickens do
to
a lot of number 2. I'm just gonna say
They do, but their number 2 is also far more potent, and so it needs more time to rest. Whereas rabbits, you can almost throw it right in the garden, and you're still good to go.
It's look, a lot of people don't like to hear me talk like this, but if you're looking for a pure pound-to-pound meat comparison of any livestock, rabbits are number 1.
Yeah, get a good bunny. Like you just
Well,
need a
no,
broom. You need a broom, and that's pretty much what
Get
you
a
need: a broom and a good knife, and you've handled your rabbits.
Oh, I'm sure some people are going to be like, I'm never watching this again. But
But
Ruby
they're
Hube's
giving life
here.
advice. Moving
Well,
to Tennessee, maybe Hoove and I could pop down and say hello.
I know, and that'll happen. That'll happen. She's the best. I love her so much. They're great people. Speaking of great people, there's a great people right there. Sean is in the house, formerly known as John, the artist as John Cusack. Did I say that right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I accidentally sometimes I say cucksack. Is that okay?
I don't
Did I
think
get rid of
so.
it? No,
but,
can't say.
I
that.
mean, it's in the name.
I feel bad. Anyway, for $2 make you holler. Steve says you got good wine at Disney Studios Brown Derby. Yeah, oh yeah, they do got good wine at the Brown Derby. Have you ever been to Disney World, Steve?
No, I've been offered, and so many people in all of the chats are like, "If you come down, I will hook you up, my brother."
Yeah.
But
we know a lot of those people.
I know, and they are so generous, and they are absolutely meaning it. And if I could, I would. It's just gotta pay to get down there, and I also need my passport.
So. You need a visa and then a job. If you could get a job, like if like when I live in Tennessee, I may try to hire you,
and I'd be all for it. You just have to convince someone else in my life.
Well, I mean, no, you could set up like in one of the outbuildings, the barns, like you could set up like a church, because like I'm a man of faith.
Hey,
so
church planner, I'm all for it. My credentials can very easily be shifted.
Yeah, well, you can God translates everywhere on this.
Yes, but I could literally transfer because I could go from Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada to the Assemblies of God because we're a sister organization.
Nah. Well, hey, I've got a brother that needs a wife, so sounds good. All right, let's get.
What?
I'm going to hell for that. It's fine. It's fine. Don't pay attention. All right, our
you
friend.
Already read that.
I read that one. Why does that keep coming up?
Because it's funny for you.
Oh, it is funny for me. It's embarrassing for me. But there's my good friend, my Floridian friend, my pal, one of the best wildlife photographers I've ever met in real life, for 20 Culture Casino Cash. By the way, if you go to where I am, I will talk to you. We can hang out and do stuff. Even if it's eating donuts, which I'm really not supposed to eat anymore, but it's fine. It's fine.
What's the worst thing you're allowed to eat now?
I can have bacon.
Which that's like you can have a lot of usage of bacon. So
I mean, like I'm not like it's really like I try to avoid things that are high in sugars and carbs.
Yeah. So basically, if you stick to keto, kind of ask.
Yeah. If I'm a meatitarian,
I had a really good keto key lime pie recipe.
Oh, man. Okay, so there's a few elements.
And obviously, it's a cheater key lime because you're still
you
adding
have
some
to
carbs, but
yeah,
it was pretty tasty.
Yeah. So my pal Scott says, "Wish I could get by more often." But the parents aren't doing well. My friend, I get it. You know, in fact, I'm going to try to host like my family on my land. I'm going to try to make sure I can, despite the fact that it's going to be ag land, have as many outbuildings that can be
You want your own culture compound.
farmhands. I do actually, so that I can actually have family members stay. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing, because ultimately I want to have sound stages on site so that if people want to come and shoot films, there's like little there's little houses and stuff for them to stay in if they need to, or places to plug in their RVs and trailers or whatever. I really legitimately want to be a place where you can go to not just like, do films and YouTube stuff and whatever, but I
You
also
want to be a
want to be.
retreat place.
I do, yeah, kind of, yeah. That's kind of it. So, but yeah, one of the best places I've been in my life was in Colorado. It was built as a retreat, exactly as you describe, and it would house many families simultaneously, and it had all of the elements that you would need to be self-sufficient. That's kind of what I'm going for. I know that sounds crazy, but
What color? What kind of Kool-Aid would we be having?
no Kool-Aid. No, I'm not.
There we
I'm not
go.
into that.
Then we're good.
Yeah. Look, my
It's
last
just egg.
name, my last name is not Jones. You're gonna be fine. So, anyway, Scott, thank you for that. We're gonna get to this story, guys. It's gonna happen, but your super chats come first, unfortunately. Well, or fortunately, I should say. Somebody said I'm surprised about Warhammer. What is happening right now?
I don't know, but Chef Eddie says, Steve, how do you feel about eating cake? Well,
Oh, that's a good question.
I think that if you're a peasant, then you have a steady stream and accessibility to cake. And in fact, it's probably cheaper than bread. And also, you're getting more calories out of it. So if you're hungry, let them eat the cake.
Oh, man, Morgan King, the warlord, says, Steve, do you know William Curly Bill Brocious?
No idea what that name is.
Curly Bill? You know who Curly Bill is?
I feel like I've heard it before, but you probably say
watch.
yeah.
Did you watch Tombstone?
Yes, a long time ago.
All right, fair enough. Anyway, Cena Flemish. Flemish? I've had a blemish. I don't know about a Flemish. Let's see. Oh, wait, Zombie Box is back. Back again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it says, LOL, sorry for that joke, man. You know I love you. No, I know you love me, and thank you for the £2. By the way, I'm glad your mom's home, bro. I appreciate it. And yes, I'm glad she's bossing you around at the house. So, hey, here's another friend of mine. He knows what it's like to be cold in winter and have snow, because he's I'm going to reveal information. I'm probably going to make everybody mad, but he's a Michigander. So he's had the lake effect snow in his life, but that's not where he lives now. He lives someplace more warmer. Saying Luke Korolowiz's first encrypted book is out. Yeah, you guys should go check it out. I just read it and it's great. Rising young talent he is, and he's another one of my heroes. I featured him in one of my Friday shows. I think I even had Steve on one of my Friday shows. Because he's a rising young talent, and he can almost grow a beard, kind of partly, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to help. We got a member, Jeremiah Hambry. He's been here for 23 months. He said something. Why don't you protect your penguin brother? I do.
You should always protect your penguin brother.
Indeed.
So far as your penguin brother will let you protect them.
Yeah, sometimes they just want to put a pebble at another penguin's feet.
Right?
That's so weird. By the way, a raid specialist is out there for $1.99 in the super chattiness. Says, don't they have a snake handling pastors in Tennessee? I don't know.
I don't know, but do they have monkey bars on their chandeliers?
That's a good question.
Because Pentecostal, man, you got to be able to swing from the chandeliers.
I'm so uncomfortable right now.
From the chandeliers. I saw your face, and I realized how that came out. Mistakes were made.
Very much so. Because
Mistakes were made.
I'm like, my mom is gonna call. I'm gonna get a phone call in a minute.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Maybe this one is a God won't accept.
We're moving right along.
What's the name of the Australian forest? The Mandrake Forest. It's the mandrakes up in northern Australia that goes along the sides, and you can get some good fish and sharks and crocodiles in there.
You know,
And,
if you pull a mandrake up, though, they yell and scream. They could actually hurt your eardrums. I mean, you got to get earmuffs. So
Mhm.
Whoo! Culture stuck with this guy alone. I needed a.
We should find it. We should move on further.
Okay.
Actually, my favorite Western is not Tombstone. It is
What?
actually, obviously, because I've seen it once. It was actually the original Magnificent Seven.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Like
Have you seen the anime version of that?
No, because truth be told, I'm not a huge anime person. I just can't do it.
Oh man, you and Brandon look like you'd be perfect friends, and then you said that.
I'm sorry.
What happened?
But like, I give it a shot, but it's just not my thing. And so I just love the feel of it. These guys, they just give it all for this town that they're like, who the heck are you guys? And then they're all dead.
Okay, so can we say nice things about Randall Orser? He's a Canadian. He's
is that his picture?
Yeah, that's Randall.
He's beautiful, and
he gifted 10 memberships. So.
He not only does he give out great memberships, he gives out great fashion advice. Look at how that blue shirt pops out of that jacket.
He's well dressed and well mannered, and he
knows how to smile.
He knows things. He knows
how to smile. Like I wish I could smile like that. I can't smile.
Yeah. And from what I'm to understand from his business acumen, he could probably help me, escape federal custody or something. So I'm looking forward to that. Ruby Hoob gives another Culture Casino membership out there, which I appreciate. All right, let's get to the story. You guys have kept us entertained for a long time.
But first, as we get to the story, can we just note that Marvin's just trying to like hijack Jonas's profile pic?
Oh, I have noticed that. That's been wild stuff, right?
I know. It was just like, come on, Marvin. You have Marvin, you have your own identity. You can be your own person. Jonas doesn't need to control you. I know he thinks he does, but Marvin, you have agency.
Why does and here's the weird thing, right? So in all the AI videos lately that have been running on Pro's channel, both Marvin and Jonas and Lorne, they look the same. They have the same grandpa beard, the whole 9 yards. It's like, what is going on right now?
Well, I mean, technically all of them do have beards. So
I'm just saying, I have a beard, but I have a real beard.
What I love though is that for pretty much every video on Pro's channel that is AI Lorne, literally every time for Lorne, you take off the hat and it gives him a bald head. And so now
it's weird.
And it's funny and it's wonderful and it's staying as a thing. Just so you guys know, for a behind the scenes thing, the Lorne bald spot was fake, but now it is a thing.
It's a thing.
It's got to stay. And it kind of bugs him enough because it gets him just a little bit riled, but he can hold himself together.
It's beautiful. And look, I for whatever reason we got to keep throwing a log on the fire. Thank you, Yevon. While many Yevon wants us to throw more logs on this fire, Steve. So there's that. That's going to help. That's not going to do anything. Oh my goodness, Parrot Head's out there. What's going on? Culture Gump. Yeah, I kind of feel like that. Life's like a box of chocolates. Okay, let's get to the dang story. So, Steve,
yes,
Steve, you don't make stuff. You don't build stuff, Steve. Anyway, did you ever see Multiplicity? Probably not. Okay, anyway.
No, I know the name. What is it for?
He was the original Batman in '89. Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton played a guy who found himself in possession of a cloning machine, and he kept cloning himself to do better at it.
I remember seeing trailers.
Oh, it's very good.
That's it.
Anyway, yeah. So do you know I know a lot about movies, It's like I've
I
forgotten
did.
more
Did you
about
know that
movies.
I don't know much
Oh,
about movies?
I know I did.
So
But
I promise.
I have forgotten more about movies than most people. I have details of stuff that didn't officially ever show up on screen, which is a problem. Anyway, okay, so Jimmy Kimmel breaks down in tears
Again,
over ice baby, ding 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 ding. Calls federal agents goons.
so full transparency. I
Okay.
have watched the videos that are available.
The video. This one.
I am currently halfway through Nate the Lawyer's video where he breaks.
Dude, I love Nate
Yeah.
the Lawyer. Yeah, he's
And
good.
so
He's good.
I will be honest, I have not really fully come to a conclusion, despite the fact that on X people have called me a bootlicking Nazi. I have not actually embraced an opinion other than the fact that if law enforcement is doing their thing, you probably should keep away.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's the upside of getting in the way?
I don't know. I think Canadians are really good at protesting. What we do is we go to our government and set up bouncy castles and get things changed. That's how we do it.
Yeah, but then they seize your bank accounts and your trucks.
But
and other
remember
stuff.
who the heroes are. Still those people.
Yeah.
Right. And they were redeemed by the fact that we had a couple good judges that actually were like, yeah, no, the government broke the law. So now, is anything going to happen? No. But history is on the side of the good guys. Therefore, if you're going to protest, do it with bouncy castles in the appropriate venue and location. That is my humble advice.
I
Pull
feel
a
like
Canadian.
I feel like bouncy castles and barbecues, that just reminds me of like summertime in the South. So
And-
that works.
Exactly. Let's have some fun. All right, we should read the story. Late night host Jimmy Kimmel once again became visibly emotional on Jimmy Kimmel Live this week, breaking down in tears during a monologue addressing the killing of Minneapolis ICU nurse Alex Pretty during an immigration enforcement.
You know what? PMS Now, the new network from Versant, they gave us a much prettier version of Pretty.
Yes, I saw that from the Babylon Bee. Actually, they're the ones that I saw that noted that they're giving out the Giga Chad version of this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's not some yoked Indian dude like I've seen as well.
Which, to be fair, the version that they put up wasn't that much more, but it does narrow it. I don't know.
Does it fix the hairline? Does it fix the hairline?
It doesn't fix the hairline, but it does fix the general shape of his face by making it a bit wider and his chin a bit more like, what do you call it?
Chinnier.
Makes us chinnier, yeah, chinny. And then gives him a bit more heft to his shoulders. So they kind of made him a little beefed out, and I mean it's not it exaggerates it, and you're like, no, those do look like two totally different dudes. But
they are so because like one of them is AI and the other one was like dumb. So anyway, so first and foremost, you know what I'm not gonna do when I'm hanging out around law enforcement in a protesty situation?
Mm-hmm.
Do anything that's remotely threatening, or carry like implements of death with me. I don't think that's a good plan.
Or just any protesting. Never mind even law enforcement. Right?
I'm sorry, what now?
Just any protest situation. We're not going to use physical threats or wave things that could make people be like fearful for their lives in any capacity.
Yeah, I feel like protest requires a good bullhorn and a sign. Like a good sign, like something funny, like make me laugh.
And maybe a bucket.
Which is a bucket?
Which is a strong bad reference.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to pee.
Well, it's something to sit on. Because then you have the bullhorn and the bucket.
Well, yeah, I mean, like one of those, Home Depot buckets are only $5, and you can flip them upside down and sit on them. Or if you gotta go,
it's true. Actually, when I was in Ukraine, that was actually the toilet seat for a couple of spots. Because they're like, we don't have Western toilets, but we do have this bucket, and you're like, that is literally a bucket flipped upside down with a hole in it.
It works.
It worked.
It works. You dig a deep enough hole, and apparently, if you're on Mars, it grows
Oh,
tomatoes.
most of the Ukrainians would just
Tomatoes.
move the bucket and just squat into the hole. But
Anyway, so the segment marked the latest instance of Kimmel abandoning comedy entirely in favor of political commentary, much like what we just did, as he spoke at length about footage emerging from Minneapolis and repeatedly paused to compose himself on air. I only have to compose myself because you make me laugh. So I'm just going to say that out loud.
that's fair.
And, look, I spent the weekend, he said.
No. There's
wait.
quotes.
Okay, you read it.
No. I think that you could probably adequately read this like Jimmy Kimmel.
I spent the weekend, like probably a lot like you did, looking at my phone and just feeling shocked and sick at what's happening in Minneapolis.
Kimmel told viewers at the start of his monologue.
One video after another. And cue the, DiCaprio crappy movie that they're going to give the Oscar to this year. Anyway, regardless, this just goes on, and this guy does what this guy does. This is his Christmas massage in the UK on Channel 4 that's, anti-America. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. That's where this image is from, anyway. The Christmas address to UK Channel 4.
Zombie Box said that was a terrible Christopher Walken impression.
First of all, I cannot do Walken.
Ironically, I can see it. That was the best part. That's why it was a wonderful comment. This is the way you did it. The way you're like flailing your hands. I'm like, this is totally. I get it. I can see it. It's good. It's good.
Oh no. Anyway, okay, we're gonna keep going.
Okay. Kimmel, however, did not limit his remarks to expressing sadness or concern. Instead, he leveled sweeping accusations against the agents involved, characterizing federal officers in highly charged terms. Cue Christopher Walken.
Just one atrocity after another being committed by this gang of poorly trained, shamefully led, mask-wearing goons.
Kimmel said during the broadcast.
And that is what they are. They're goons committing vile, heartless, and even criminal acts.
Your Walken does suck. Those statements reflected Kimmel's personal views and were not presented alongside official findings, agent accounts, or investigative conclusions, and on ABC. That, I think, is also a element that needs to be clearly addressed. Is
Disney.
Who's paying the bills for him to say these kinds of things?
Disney.
And unregrettably so. Wait, if Marvin wrote this, Flora from Rock should read it with a Marvin impression. I can't do like a lame Jersey accent.
I can't do Marvin.
Kimmel went on to directly link the Minneapolis incident to broader political outcomes, addressing his viewers who supported Donald Trump. Is that okay? It's probably terrible, but
it is not bad. But oh man,
because I can't do a Jersey accent. If I could figure out how to do a Jersey accent. I got the right tone.
Marvin's going to watch this. I'm going to get murdered. It's not going to be all right. He's going to leave you alone. That's a weird thing. He's like, well, culture's in the U.S.
Gilbert Godfrey. Marvin is Gilbert Godfrey.
Guys, I love you to pieces. And if you don't agree, I get it. But please don't go after each other. I need you all. So does this guy. We love you. So anyway. Please, oh God, don't make me laugh like that. Give me strength.
Kimmel went on to directly link Minneapolis incident to broader political outcomes, addressing viewers who supported Donald Trump.
Is this?
Is that?
Oh, excuse me. Is that the law and order that you voted for?
Kimmel asked.
Where are the reasonable voices on the right? We need some decent people on the right to show some courage and some common sense.
He
See,
later added bluntly,
every day, oh, wait, I'm not doing it right. Every day is a nightmare now. By the way,
"You need
so
the tears coming down."
I first of all, I can't do the waterworks on command. That's why I'm not an actor on screen. I can't do it. So the host also claimed that the events have had a personal impact on his own family, stating that relatives in Minneapolis are fearful of everyday activities. Okay, I think I got to pull the plug on this because first and foremost, I don't believe this guy at all.
You know, here's where I will say he might be telling the truth to a degree, because what happens is the people who oppose, and this applies to just a general life thing, right? If you're against something, anytime something kind of encroaches in that territory, you're going to be hypersensitive to it. And so if his family members are just opposed to seeing what some would deem justice, what some would deem uh, just the appropriate application of the law, at least in the onset, and that bothers you, then yes, you seeing these things happen, they're going to be taking it far beyond. So, putting on the pastoral hat for a moment, the conversation that I would be having is going to kind of go along the lines of like asking, like, so what are you actually afraid of right now? What are you currently doing that would put you in a position where you need to be afraid? Secondly, who's in your life right now that's speaking to you to remind you of the truth that you need to hear? What are you actually embracing? What are you pushing? Like, are you actually embracing these other voices that you don't know, that they're speaking things to you, but the real people, the real physical people in your life who should be theoretically a diverse group of people where iron can sharpen iron, are they not speaking into you? And that's where the whole, obviously, the idea of you're stuck in your own little box, right? You're stuck in the echo chamber.
Look, if you're not looking outside of your direct circle, you've got a lot of problems. I mean, we can get into all of that. It's one of the reasons why it's really important that I don't control a lot of chatter that happens in my chat because I don't want to. I want free speech, but I don't want you to attack each other. I want you guys to figure it out. And like, and iron sharpens iron. You're going to come up with hardship and in hardship in your entire life. And if you think about the logic and the symbolism of all of that, you understand that nothing we do ever in life is easy, and the world around us isn't easy, and what we encounter on the daily basis isn't easy, and the things that other people encounter around us isn't easy. So as supportive as we can possibly be, we should be, because that's the most, and you know, whether or not you're Christian or not, I'm just going to say that's the Christian thing to do. I try to help you with your hardship every day. I pray for you. I pray for your well-being, and I pray for your family's well-being. It's part of the way I was built, and the way I was born, the way I was taught. And at the same time, it's how this country came about. I have no direct connection with anybody who's fallen victim to a narrative that is telling them that they're being attacked because these people did wrong. And that's really all this discussion is. The people who are involved in direct conflict with ICE should just be the people who have broken the law. And they shouldn't have more contact than is required than to be taken into custody and removed from the United States of America. The people who are making a hardship are the ones that are coming into conflict with the people that are doing their job, what they're hired to do, and to enforce the laws of this country. Every country in the world has a border, and they have laws around their border and how you're allowed to cross their border and how long you're allowed to stay after you cross your border. How do I know this? Because I've been to Canada, because I've been to Mexico, because I've been to many other countries around the globe. I have a passport. I have a book, a passport book that gets stamped. In fact, I'm on my third one right now. And every time in my life that I've needed a visa, I've gotten one. And that entitled me to staying in a country for a given period of time. And I did it all legally through the natural ingress and egress process of their laws. So if you are traveling outside of the United States or to the United States, you have to follow the law. In the United States, by the way, we have something called full faith and credit, which means if you get a driver's license here, if you fall within the bounds of ownership of property or many other things that were outlined in the Constitution, I, as a citizen of the entirety of the United States, have carte blanche to do as I will, as long as it doesn't offend any of the laws of a given state, city, municipality, and or the country at large. So, in order to have the rule of law, you have to respect one of the primary laws, which is honoring the boundaries of the country itself.
Mhm.
That's all it is. It's that simple. And if anybody would explain that, I think we'd all be better off, because nobody explains it that way. You don't need to be a lawyer to have a simple understanding of the world around you. Whether it be Canada has some of the worst immigration policies ever.
Yep.
I mean,
we have
I
I think
can't-
it's 2 million people in a backlog right now.
and I can't get there. Like, I can't get there to work. If I got hired by a company in Canada, it'd be like, nah,
Nope.
wait.
Yep. And it's pretty brutal. But I would push back and say that no one can say it. People are trying to say it. It's just that there's a vast majority of people that just don't want to hear it. And
That's true.
and I think that's kind of where a lot of the proverbs and all that come to, is like, if you spend time with the wise and you'll become wise. The friend of fools will suffer much harm. So
True.
who are you listening to? Who are you spending time with? It kind of comes back to that. So
Okay, He-Man said the smartest thing in the chat just now. Why can't we all just get along?
see, and the
That's
reason
that's
why,
1980s coming back in your face, baby.
to a degree, and don't get me wrong, I love the 80s and 90s in terms of just where the culture was and all that kind of stuff. But why can't we just get along? This is where there's truth in some of what we've heard the left say, and this is where I'm seeing up here in Canada. What can righteousness have to do with darkness? What can light and darkness interact? And that's a true statement. So there's going to be conflict. There's going to be disruption. There's going to be pain. There's going to be things boiling over. We can't just get along. That's not how, because oftentimes that's actually how you cause more hurt. That was a phrase that I heard growing up often between me and my brother. And it never actually resolved the issue, because all you're trying to do is pacify. What you need to have is a venue in which you can actually be forced to be reconciling and working through the facts. And most people are too afraid to actually do that because they don't want to be wrong. In the instance of this event that we're talking about with Kimmel,
Yeah.
I'm actually willing to be wrong, because I see the footage and I'm like, oh, this looks really bad. I have my presuppositions that I'm walking in with, because we know the context in which a lot of these things are happening.
Don't take in the AI images that
No.
couldn't possibly have happened.
No, but that's where I'm like, but
Yeah.
the one of the things that I had tried to take a position on truly is, am I possibly wrong? Am I actually willing to be wrong? And am I willing to be like actually vocalize my correction? Most people are not willing because it's embarrassing. It will hurt you.
Nobody wants to admit that they're wrong, which is why we have such a division here in this country.
and it
Let's
takes
let's let's
practice to
let
do it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to be like willing to go, wow, I was completely wrong here. Have you ever seen anybody on a CNN news program panel say, "Oh, wow, I was very wrong there"?
To be fair, I don't think I've seen anyone on any mainstream media outlet anywhere say I was wrong.
And,
Other than like unless like a lawyer like
well, I
goes
mean,
knocking on their door.
Dan Rather had to say he was wrong and lied completely, and so did Tom Brokaw and many of these other guys that got, disheveled because they lied to get notoriety. But that's a different conversation. What I will say is this: um, you have to admit that you're wrong before you can struggle to be correct again. And I think that that's again another broader lesson, and unfortunately that
Yep.
takes a moment of faith. Speaking of a moment of faith,
I'm not going anywhere.
read that, read it.
Lorne's non-AI bald spot for $1.99. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, and you know what? One of our friends, the Phantom, in the chat just says, "Didn't Kanye West just say he was wrong?" Yeah, and he apologized for it.
What do you
He
say?
said he apologized for being very anti-Semitic in his commentary, and he was going through an extended bipolar situation in which he was in
Of course.
well, hey, sometimes you need you need something to blame in order to admit that you succumb to the wrong conclusion.
Which isn't really taking ownership. I mean, now is it possible because of what we've seen? I'm not saying that's not true.
That's true.
But at the same time, I'm like, you got to just sometimes
Oh.
just own your crap. And that's where I think on our end of the spectrum. Okay. So just honest talk. Are we actually willing to be wrong when we see the events? And when we say,
some of us voted for bad candidates at one point in time. I mean, you guys voted for Carney. Are you willing to admit you were wrong?
Did I ever vote for Carney?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, what do we got here? What does it say?
Mark Daly, 4847, says for $5, where were Kimmel's tears for Katie Steinle and Irina Zarutska? That was the girl that was stabbed on the train.
On the train, yeah. And look, I mean, there's a laundry list of people we could go through that Jimmy Kimmel doesn't have any familiarity with because he only watches one side of the spectrum. I like
to be fair too, though, many of us have kind of similar issues because there's names that we don't know about that maybe we should, or there's names that we do know and we're just kind of like, it happens. And instead of actually being broken and grieved over that stuff, and we really should, even when it comes from our side, like if you truly, if you are not grieved over the fact that people have died in Minneapolis at the hands of people, whether justified or not, and that doesn't grieve you, if you just say sucks to be you because you made mistakes, I'm going to strongly suggest you need to take a step back.
Well, I think a lot of that has been brought to the attention of people on the left recently because of how many people died in the Obama administration underneath similar measures taken by ICE.
But what I'm saying for us though, in this moment, because we can always say like, what about for us, stepping in and saying like, we need to be willing to be introspective. And if we're not actually willing to be broken over this, there is something wrong with us. And I'll just go, I will say that like now, obviously play stupid games, win stupid prizes, but you should still be like, but it was a life.
Well, first of all, you need to assign value to humanity. In that value should be equal. Again, this is being a human 101. This is a person of faith concept. I know a lot of you don't understand. I'm a person of faith. I have been forever, which is one of the reasons why I try to limit my bad language and calling other people names and doing all those things. I can't eliminate it completely. I've known that. My mom knows that. I've been called on the carpet for not being able to do that, but I do my very best every day. So, you know what, my minister never expected me to be better than I am right now. So I'm doing about as good as I could do. But anyway,
There was the bar, and you're like,
eh,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
yeah.
Kind of like that Homer where he like rolled over it.
I'm going to back into this bush real quick, and
Yeah.
I'm not here. But honestly, we have to assign a certain value to humanity, and it should be at the highest point. It should be a pinnacle value. And if you're incapable of doing that, then you're not going to respect the temporary mental condition of somebody like Alex Pretty, who wasn't very pretty at all. And again, see, I use humor to deflect some emotion there, but I'm just going to say that he wasn't in his right mind. And that's kind of how I'm looking at a lot of these people that are involved in these protests. They're not in any way, as far as I'm concerned, in their right mind. I don't think you would assign that to any of those folks. Is you're not thinking clearly if your first action is to put yourself in an adversarial situation to authority who aren't trying to venture beyond what their authority grants them. And look, to live in a civilized society, you are allowing for a certain amount of authority. We all agree on a certain set of laws.
Yep.
And in the United States, it's a Constitution of the United States. And every law derives its authority from the Constitution of the United States. The rule of law isn't just a fancy way for people to avoid, talking about things.
Yeah.
It's actually a practice here in the United States. And all of that, believe it or not, comes out of the UK several hundred years ago. So, I mean, we have to we have to practice advanced citizenship in the United States of America. And we have to take accountability for voting for the people that we believe are going to be good leaders and lead us in the right direction based on what they told us they would do. Mm-hmm. And when they fail us, we are also responsible for removing them from power. Mm-hmm. I mean, and that there are legal processes for doing all of these things. But we now have built-in systems, which is disturbing, that try to prevent us from exercising those rights to get rid of the bad leaders, which would include systems that would bring people in to vote for particular groups of candidates. Because
what are you thinking of right now specifically? Because I'm trying to follow.
Oh,
I'm in Canada, man.
You have an immigration problem all your own.
Yeah, we have our own set of issues. So, like, I'm trying to follow some of your argument here, and I'm sure you have valid arguments.
Sure,
but give me an example.
Well, in the United States, if you import a particular demographic that is going to vote for you every time, that you're defeating some of the checks and balances aspects.
Oh yeah, and we have that issue too.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. I was trying to think of compatible, references. But setting all of that aside, I'm just saying is that the rule of law is in place to prevent these things, but there are certain times when extraordinary measures have to be taken, which is why you're seeing more aggressive means of removing people from the populace that don't deserve to be here in the United States.
Yeah. So one of the things that I saw, I don't know who said it in the chat, and I'm not going to call anyone out.
No,
but I've seen these kinds of comments before, is where we say the other side doesn't have compassion. Yes, they do. Can we not? Like, maybe in some ways it's misplaced, but they do have compassion. They're again.
Nobody objects. This is the weird thing, and maybe you'll agree with me.
Yeah.
No one objects to people coming to the United States legally.
No. But like the idea that I'm trying to get behind is some of the situations that these, even the like, okay, so again, we're talking about the illegal immigrants. They're fleeing, some of them legitimately brutal circumstances. And so what I'm saying is that the left, they rightly do have compassion for some of these people. It becomes far too broad. It becomes far too unspecific. It becomes like, so there are issues with it, which again, you can argue with us because sometimes we're not compassionate enough, truthfully, but because I know I'm not compassionate. But
You're a man of the cloth. Come on.
I know I suck at compassion. I try. I work at it. But the thing is, though, we need to be fair to them and not attribute straight up malice.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
And because for many of them, they might be misled.
Well,
But
and that's the other problem, right? It's why this Jimmy Kimmel story is important, because he's willing to mislead others. He did so. He did so with Charlie's killing, right? You
Yep.
know, and I'm like, you are willfully misleading.
And that's where, again, I think the big thing is who is that saying it, and what's the like, and why are they saying it?
Right.
Someone like Kimmel, he's got all the resources, he's got all the ability in the world to see the truth and hear the truth. Most of the people that are listening to him, they are in their echo chamber, and no one's ever really broken it. They've never had something happen in their life where they need to be confronted.
Well, but it's even worse because, I mean, this is a guy who, you know what? I'm going to be honest. He has hardship in his life. He has a child. No, this is legitimate. He has a child who has a health condition that's very serious. He's dealing with that regularly. But at the same time, he also has a wife who's willing to sacrifice any kind of credibility for a perspective, including valuing family. I don't understand any of that, nor can I understand anybody who's willing to do that. But what I can understand is the people in the chat we need to acknowledge before we decide to tap out of here, which is soon, because Lauren and Apollo is coming up next in about 8 to 10 minutes. So I want to make sure we get them in here. So I'm going to click on this one. You're going to tell me, we got Mark already, right?
Yep.
Okay. The next super chat is from our good friend
Chef Eddie 6164 for $5. Remember, freedom goes back to when the French kicked Steve ancestors out of France.
It's true.
Gotta love the François Revolution.
What's really interesting about the French is, you know, France has been the screen door of Europe since before I was born. Literally. I mean, you know, the Germans came through twice without a wisp of like confrontation. And they were just perfectly happy to just say, oh yeah, take over our museums, take our wonderful works of art, you know, just camp out, hang out here. Because we refuse to defend ourselves or our way of life. It's beautiful. Welcome. We'll figure out German at some point in time. Yeah,
the reason why the stereotype exists is because the French, they very easily give up.
Well,
and so they don't. I mean, and anytime they've had a guy that was able to do something like impressive, they eventually
get exiled. They get exiled. They go off to an island.
They're like, we don't like you. You didn't lose.
Here, take a bunch of prostitutes with you, and you know, don't mind that they're infected with terrible STDs. It'll be a good time.
Yeah. So it's kind of messed up, but I mean,
sorry, I wasn't referring directly to Elba, but I was. Anyway, sorry, I know history. I'm one of those terrifying people who will, you know, shove it in people's noses.
And for the record, because someone here is going to be thinking like, "Wow, Steve really is a Canadian."
No,
I'm trying to practice empathy, my friends. Like proper empathy, trying to understand what people are thinking.
Yeah, and I'm like, why?
I don't agree with them one bit, but I am trying to practice empathy because, as culture knows, as Irate in the chat knows,
yeah,
I have very strong thoughts. But we're
Yeah.
online right now and being recorded, and I am a pastor.
And in all honesty, we're both people of faith, and it's kind of it's supposed to be. We're always supposed to be looking for the other side. We're always supposed to be looking for the other argument. We always are supposed to try to be understanding of the situation that people find themselves in, despite a myriad of terrible choices that they make along the way. It's how I was like, and it's, I don't have suicidal empathy. Please don't misunderstand. I know I'm not going that direction. I just get it. Like, you know, one day they decided, hey, I'm going to try this fentanyl thing. Bad plan. Because, like, if you drive down the streets of California, people are folding left and right. And talk to me. We have friends from California in the chat right now, so you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, let's double check. So we got this one. So we're good?
Si, senor.
Okay, so we are good. So what that tells me is I had a great time tonight. Steve joined me. He and I are going to do a gardening thing with Wilton here
Apparently.
in the near future. Apparently,
Can you actually? Okay, because we got what, 5 minutes at least.
yeah.
What? Okay, because all I saw was Packing Protons said
Yeah.
Pro right now set a target where Culture and Wilton are going to be talking about gardening, or is that literally all we know?
I knew less than that because at the time there was a target for like 50 supers, but they were for something else entirely different. Proton decided, hey, how about if we kick in $500 and we have Wilton and Culture do a gardening segment? Okay, I'm like, I don't know that I agreed to that, but it's not bad. It was.
Can I just say, lately, Wilton has been invited to do a lot of things without anyone else's permission.
I believe you and I can do it. Look.
I fully believe that we can, and I can make my schedule work.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But Wilton is.
Hey, Justin Proper's in the chat. By the way, Justin Proper, if you're unfamiliar with him and his channel, you shouldn't be. He is one of the OGs of YouTube, and he's a talent scout for YouTube. This guy spotted talent and put them on his show. People who just like launched their channel, he would find them. I don't know how, but he would find them and he'd bring them on their show. I was one of the people who benefited from Justin Proper and his connection with the G&G team and everybody else. So I want to say thanks to him. Want to say thanks to Tom Connors and Andre over at Midnight's Edge and everybody else who helped me along the way. You made a difference. You made a difference in my retirement. You made a difference in my life. I probably would have died if I'd been in my old job when my medical issue happened, whereas I didn't. You know, this most recent time around, which was good. Yeah, for those of you not going to bed, you're going to be redirected. I think I already did it to the Lorne and Apollo show. Let me double check. Because it's important to me you go to the right place. And that is the right place. Lorne and Apollo Live, the cinema of 1991. That's tonight's show. And again, special thank you to Floral from Under a Rock Genius, also known as Steve. Thanks, friends. I appreciate
Thank you for letting me hang out and talk shop.
Yeah, and for everybody out there, acknowledge that Andy Masterson, the most talented person on YouTube, has a store where you can buy action figures of me
and Wilton.
Yeah, and you should check out Andy Masterson and check out what he does. He's a good man, and he makes great things. So for those of you out there, Weatherman says Wilton's a chronic misser. Yeah, but I hit the dumpster, not cleanly, but I hit the dumpster every time when he throws me off the building.
Still, though, it is a great video.
It is a great video. All right, I love y'all. Please do me a favor and hold each other in the highest possible regard. That'll make me happy. And I hope to see you all in the 6 Minute Daily tomorrow morning. So be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, I think Sherry's will likely take care of all your needs with a little snack. Seriously.
Are you tired of the same old buffet food at Wang's? Have you had enough dong to last you a lifetime? Well, take just a few more steps past those single-minded restaurants and dive into Sherry's Slam & Clam. Sherry's Slam & Clam Shellfish Bar is truly all you can eat, unlike the 2-shrimp limit that stingy bastard Wang has. In a hurry, let Sherry stuff your box. To go! Be shellfish and take all you want from Sherry's Slam & Clam. Located next to the 3rd Street Bolorama, Sherry's is open 6 days a week. If you are looking to slam clam, get to Sherry's today.